Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So for quite some time, I've been waiting for some Errol Spence news to surface because, of course, we enjoy Errol Spence here on this channel. I think he's a stand-up guy, always kept his word, and I just enjoy him just in general. And there is news circulating tonight, which is not the kind of news that I would have liked to have heard. But apparently, and this is just rumors that are currently out there, and there are actually a couple of channels that are doing some lives on it, so they may have some connections. A bigger channel, I'm not going to say their name, but apparently Errol Spence is quote unquote not in condition for a fight against Sebastian Fundora in October/November. Now, this is surprising news. We know that they have been talking, negotiating. We know Errol, at least the last time we saw Errol, he mentioned that nothing was set in stone. But it was widely believed that Errol Spence was going to get this opportunity to fight Sebastian Fundora October, November. And then that was going to set him up in a position to get a rematch with Terrence Crawford in the event Terrence Crawford wins on August 3rd. So the term not in condition is an odd one to me, because the last time I saw Errol Spence, it wasn't like he looked like he was like 180 pounds or something like that. Spence looked like maybe he was in the mid 160s, something like that. Maybe high 160s. And of course, if he's fighting at 154, then he should have plenty of time to get in condition, quote unquote condition, to fight. So I don't know what that means. There are other rumors that are out there that are basically saying that Errol Spence has hurt himself. He injured himself somehow, and therefore he will not be able to move forward with a Sebastian Fundora fight in October, November. That seems more likely to me, that he injured himself somehow. Now, what that injury is, I have no idea. I know that there's people that are speculating and questioning whether or not he's going to ever return on social media. A simple injury, unless the injury is catastrophic, theoretically shouldn't stop him from getting back in the ring. So I wouldn't say that this is the last we've heard of Errol Spence. I dug around, have not called anybody per se or anything of that nature. Just kind of looking around, perusing to see if there's any real data out there or information that's out there that can confirm this or actually make sense, and couldn't find anything. But I mean, it's running rampant right now, and I did want to address it. Now, the word is that Terrence Crawford's camp is already in negotiations with Sebastian Fundora for a fight in October, November, which that also doesn't really make any sense to me. Now, maybe they're in negotiations for a fight later on, but I don't know why they would be in negotiations for a fight October, November. That really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, considering Terrence Crawford's going to fight in August, going to need some time off. So I don't know what those comments are about. But apparently Terrence Crawford, they're at least maybe in talks. Maybe they've already reached out to that team. Maybe they've already started to have discussions with that team. So that's interesting. It seems to me that Terrence Crawford is in negotiations or going to fight everyone. He's going to unify next and become undisputed at 154. He's also going to fight Canelo Alvarez next. It's interesting to see some of the comments from the same people in the Discord. 1 minute he's fighting Canelo. The next minute he's fighting for undisputed at 154. Interesting development there for Terrence Crawford. But this is you got to think about this from an Errol Spence perspective. This is absolute bad news. I mean, again, unless the injury is catastrophic, then theoretically he should be able to come back. But maybe Spence is no longer motivated. Like, Spence is going through a lot. When you think about everything he's gone through since 2019, into 2019 with the car crash, now 2024. Over the last 5 years, Errol Spence has gone through a lot. And he always struck me as the type of guy that was not going to allow boxing to retire him. That was about setting up himself, his family, making sure that they had generational wealth. And the Terrence Crawford fight might have put him in that position where he's thinking about this and thinking to himself, you know what, maybe this isn't something that I want to continue to pursue. I'm not saying that that's what he's thinking, but there's a possibility when you continue to have setbacks where you just say to yourself, is this still worth it? And it may no longer be worth it. When you think about it, got, if I'm not mistaken, 3 kids. I think he got a son and 2 girls. Got a girlfriend / wife at home. Got parents that, all those folks are dependent on him. And so he may be in a position now where he's just like, you know what? I want to come back. I want the opportunity to win a title at another weight class. But with all that has happened, maybe it's time for me to hang him up. Who knows? It's hard to say. But this could just be a rumor. But usually when rumors start to run this rampant, there's some truth to it. So in my opinion, more than likely, this is probably true, and that we won't see Errol Spence back in the ring this year. Like I said, it's sad for a lot of Errol Spence fans that, he's been out of the ring now. It's going to be a year coming up, on the 29th? Yeah, a year on the 29th. And Crawford's been out a year. He's going to get back in the ring on August 3rd, so it'll be out a little over a year. And, seems like Errol's going to be following right behind him, but not anymore. So it is what it is. I wish Errol nothing but the best. If he is hurt, hopefully he has a speedy recovery. And I do want to look out here just real quick one more time to see if anything else has popped up on this. But yeah, this is a tough one. And like I said, there's a number of different, I wouldn't call them reputable sources, but they're not just, Twitter users or anything like that are talking about this as well. Oh, Rick Glacier is also reporting this as well. Maybe this is where it actually began. Who knows? But yeah, so it looks like Errol is not going to return this year. And we'll see what ends up happening. I know you Errol Spence fans are disappointed in that, but and I hate to have to bring this kind of news to you, but it is what it is. You guys tell me what you think in the comment section in regards to this. Does it look like we're going to see Errol back? Errol got some tough decisions if he's been injured. Maybe this is just a minor setback. Maybe he's not even considering or even thinking about that, but maybe he is. It just depends on what it is that is occurring. So let us know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, AM Sports Media, and .am out.